pretty boy, doopy boy, pussy man, not a pussy boy. Go to Activia, get some sushi boy. Looking at me, you're the pussy boy. Hey, what is this? What are you doing? Bitch. Hey, whoa, why are you turning off the music? Hey, who are you? What are you doing? You know who I am? I'm the one who runs this. Bethesda Avenue, that's me. All right, we're about to have a very specific problem on our hands. If you don't... Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? So the first thing I want to show you about Starfield is boom, the UC phallic object. Yeah, I made that. UC phallic object has liftoff. The first phallic object in Starfield space. It took me maybe 20 or so minutes to erect, and now it is out there in orbit, ramming into other ships and shooting its missiles.
Now for my final strike. It's about to go. Oh, there it is.
Do you have any idea what the TTP on an item like this is going to be?
Yeah, it's going to be
TTP, guys, is time to penis. It's the time it takes for a player to use a new item to make a penis.
It took maybe about 60,000 credits to make this bad boy, so I'd say roughly about an hour or so worth of playtime and dedicated grinding and selling. Maybe 2 hours, something like that. You can get yourself a nice little phallic object in space.
This is something that people are going to buy.
So, I have been playing Starfield for the past 2 weeks. Bethesda sent me a review copy. Thank you, Bethesda. And yeah, at this point, I have accumulated almost 5 days worth of playtime. And I may not know everything about Starfield, but I know enough at this point. I think that's fair to say. I think we could agree, but it's not a competition. I'm not a reviewer. I'm just a guy who plays games and then makes silly skits about it because I really enjoy the culture. I enjoy being a gamer and what that entails. When I don't like a game, I do not like a game. And whenever I really like a game, I really like a game. So if you're expecting me to be critical or overly harsh on this, wrong guy. Wrong video to go to. I'll be honest with you. I make Bethesda-based stuff, so I will be speaking from the perspective of someone who loves Bethesda games. I'm being nice by asking first. I'm getting in there one way or another.
Is that a...
I'm getting tired of asking. You need to let me in there now.
I'm getting tired of...
I wouldn't be here Slayton had impounded my ship.
That doesn't. I'm afraid we just...
Light him up!
What you say?
Yo, whoa! What happened to her eyes? All in all, in my 5 days worth of playtime, it's a fun game. It's a good game. I think this is a game that is worthy of telling Skyrim, hey, sit down. You're done. You're done for now. You're good. It's my turn now. Like, if there was one game that could do it, it was Starfield. And I'm absolutely proud of the work that they put into the game. I think if you're someone who enjoys Skyrim or Fallout, of course, this is going to be something absolutely worth it for you. If you were a little let down, and this might be bold of me, if you were a little let down by Cyberpunk, this might be worth checking out for you. If you are expecting Starfield to be a No Man's Sky clone or something along the lines, or more refined No Man's Sky, hate to break it to you, that is not that game. And anyone who is out there trying to compare these two games, they've got a very difficult job ahead of them. The only thing that these two games have in common is the fact that there is space. Starfield is made by Bethesda, which they specialize in stories and role-playing experiences.
Hey, how are you?
What's her deal?
All those credits. And you just handed them over to the Crimson Fleet.
You broad. You said you don't care who to hand it over. What about punishing the
I
UC?
have no love for the United Colonies government. But do you not think this is more than a bit extreme?
This is just the inevitable outcome of what the UC's mistake with the key. This is what's called sticking it to the man. Plain and simple, broad.
So you have done this to make some kind of point? To whom? All you have truly done is embolden these pirates and put the lives of who knows how many others across the settled systems at risk.
Space is a dangerous place. Nothing I do will change it. Yeah, but the point is, I made a lot of money. People will have to fend for themselves, like always. I wasn't thinking about who else might be affected. No, space is a dangerous place. Nothing I do will change
That
that.
is abject foolishness.
Oh my
By
God.
that logic, we should just blow up your ship right now, since it will inevitably fail someday. I thought you were better than this.
I stand by my decision, broad. I'm not going to let you...
This is where you choose to have conviction, then. I find your decision disappointing, to say the least.
Kiss my...
Ow.
Kiss my...
Ow.
I don't want you following my party. Actually, get the fuck off my ship. This is a nice addition to the Bethesda catalog, where No Man's Sky is primarily focused on the exploration and the grind of it. Like, that is really it. There's, like, no grind to Starfield. I guess if you get into it, the crafting is a bit of a grind. And the item management is a little bit more difficult to handle compared to, like, Fallout or Skyrim, because stuff just weighs a crap ton in this game, and you really have to, you got to manage cargo space on your ship, and you got to manage cargo space on yourself, and then you got to dump that onto companions, all that stuff. And especially if you want to get into crafting, you're going to have a lot of stuff in your cargo. Like every time in No Man's Sky, just to get off the planet, you have to make sure there's fuel in thrusters. You got to make sure there's fuel in your engine, your warp drive. This, you get up and go. You don't have to worry about any of that. So there's that. I would say that, and I'm not, once again, not trying to compare the two at all. I'm trying to put it in a perspective from someone who's not played this game yet and try to give you a grasp on what to expect. There is a little bit more menu navigating than I would like in this game. Because to land, you have to open up your map, choose the place to land, you land. To go somewhere else, you got to open up your map, choose somewhere else to go, and then you're there. But after a while, when you're constantly navigating a menu, it used to get tricky. It used to be tricky for me because I clicked the wrong button and then I'd accidentally exit my ship or whatever. But I got over it. But after a while, just constantly being in menus, it's like, oh my God. Like sometimes you do get quests where it's like you just have to go to this one place and the quest is completed and then you got to go back. So it's just like menu, go there, menu, go back. And it's like, ooh, don't like that so much. Do I think that's a bad thing? No. To each their own in terms of preference on that. My preference is I would like less menus on it. Another thing, while still using No Man's Sky as a point of reference, is, I dare you to go explore Mars. I dare you to just run out there and hope to find something, because I did that for 2 hours. That is not the way that you're going to find stuff. If you do that, it is going to seem very, very freaking barren, because you're just going to run around. You're like, there's nothing out here. What the crap am I doing? You really have to progress the story a little bit, and you have to go look for these quests that provide you locations to land on along Mars or whatever planet in order to find things. The exploration isn't so much in the sense of you exploring the planet just on your own. The exploration comes from getting into the settings and getting into the world, like the different towns or settlements, and asking questions. And sometimes you'll walk by NPCs, and then just by overhearing a conversation, you'll get like a side quest activity, or by reading information, different slates. You'll get more information to go check out another thing on Mars that wasn't listed before. You get some really cool little side quest Easter egg things to go take a look at, which I can't talk about because I don't want to spoil it. I want to, but I won't. By getting invested in the setting, it does reward you for taking interest in some of these things. So it makes going to Mars a little bit more worthwhile. It's got some weapons. Hey, looks so small and happy. So if that is your interest, my advice for you would be spend as much time in a town as possible before you just move on from the town. Because my first playthrough, I went to New Atlantis, or not New Atlantis, I went to Neon, and I had a couple quests here and there. I joined Ryujin, which they were Megacorp, and they were the first to do neuroamps, which improve, human ability, blah blah blah. And you get to work for them, and you become like a corporate op, and then you do corporate espionage, and you start planting evidence against some other megacorp and ruining their reputation while boosting up Ryujin's reputation. It was a really fun faction quest, which that has like a couple different outcomes, as well as you get some pretty freaking dope armor out of that too. If you like stealth, go down Ryujin. Trust me. Then I was working for the Crimson Fleet, and then it brought me back to Neon. And then I had this encounter with this essentially city overlord known as Benjamin Bayou. He's the administrator of Neon City. You have this one encounter with him, and he framed me for murder. I was like, what the heck? And then I got chased off the planet. But I never ran into him again. I was like, what the heck? What did I do wrong? But on my second playthrough, I realized there's more to Neon City. If you take the time to go into these extra buildings and talk to some of the merchants and the traders around the area, if you overhear NPCs having conversations, you'll get more quests for Neon City, which also builds up more of this Benjamin Bayou character. And I imagine the same applies for each of the cities. If you go to Aquila, if you go to New Atlantis. So if you want more out of some of these places, you will have to spend more time in some of these places. And extra things don't just appear to you. You have to look for it. I think this is a good way to replace some of the, because it's not like Skyrim or Fallout where you could just walk in a direction and then a little area would pop up on your map and you go in and then you just get a quest. You have so many different planets to explore and so many different systems to explore. Yes, I feel like this is a good way to approach it. On top of that, while you explore and you go to these different systems, you will find like abandoned ships or abandoned space stations. You'll have hostile conflict going on. You can find legendary ships that are extremely difficult to kill sometimes. I would say the hardest aspect for a lot of the combat in this game is the ship combat. You can absolutely get annihilated within like 10 seconds if you do not have a decent ship or a decent shield, or it's difficult. It is difficult. Money solves all problems. So get a bunch of credits, buy a super dope ship, or make a super dope ship, and cheesecake factory in space. Why you gotta fight with me at cheesecake? You know I love to go. But yeah, you can go check out these abandoned ships, and there was one where it was like this alien had broken out of containment and killed everyone on board. So it was very alien-esque.
Here, you can see our lovely storage area. Don't touch anything. So, what the? Easy! What the hell was that?
There was another where a group of miners had grabbed a bunch of minerals, loaded it up on their ship, And they're like, well, you know, some of this stuff needs to thaw out. And once it thawed out from the ice, there's some kind of disease in the water, in the ice, and it got everyone on board super freaking sick, and then they all died. Sometimes you can find an abandoned ship, and if you have a high enough piloting skill, you can just take it and then add it to your fleet. The random encounters are fun. I had a ship extended warranty dude find me in the middle of space.
About your ship's extended warranty. Your warranty coverage has expired or is about to expire. Due to the uncertainty of the political situation in the settled systems, we think now is a great time to renew your ship's warranty protection plan, or purchase a new one if you lack coverage.
And then I try to kill him.
Damaging property of the owning group or its subsidiaries will result in a void of the warranty and an inability to purchase plans in the future. This may impact your ability to live a fruitful and carefree life. Look alive!
He got away. I hope he shows his face again. And then there was Grandma. Helped out with Grandma. Do you need anything? Maybe this will... Maybe take this donation to help?
Well, aren't you the most precious thing? I'm doing pretty good. But the expenses do add up. But I won't let you leave empty-handed. Take this.
How do you feel about that, huh? Oh, you taking all that money is it's doing worse. It's doing bad. I just gave that grandma 1,000 credits. Do you have 1,000 credits in Thrasia? No, because you have a conscience, you dumb. The combat in this game is actually the most fun that I've had in Bethesda games to begin with. I really like the narrow strikes on this. Something about...
Grass is grass.
So I would say at some point, just invest in it. You know, it's cool. You punch people off a bridge. The guns are super cool in this game. Some of the modifications are dope. The Deadeye that you get for joining the Freestar Rangers, pretty clean looking. Let me just show you various highlights.
Until next time. Whoa, where do you think?
A business with Shuko Syndicate. They're expecting me.
Oh, yeah? I don't see your name on my guest list. Now, why don't you tell me what you really...
I know she's inside.
I know for a fact that young lady doesn't want to be disturbed.
Okay, check this shit out. Give me the fuck key.
Dumb bitch. God, the instructor, she won't wake up no matter what I do.
Whoa!
I just don't know what's going on. Oh no, it's about to start moving again. Help!
Your shields are up. I can't board you.
I don't know how to turn them off. Please, stop. Shoot the engine. Oh no, something's happening. Hurry!
Y'all good?
You managed to stop the ship. Thank you. But the instructor, she's
So
in bad
seizures
shape.
and
Can you
your pin.
do something for her?
What? Oh, thank you. Is my student all right? The ship?
Jesus, man. Everything's fine. You gave us quite the scare.
Oh, man. Sorry. So sorry. I'm gonna catch my breath, and then I'll get us back to port.
You good?
Take this. You deserve it.
You stopped the ship. I was going to die.
Shall we? Time is money.
It's Wes Johnson!
I'm sure I don't have to tell you what an outrage it is to have a ship stolen right out of the factory. Justice must be done, and the sooner the better.
It's him! Oh, I found it.
That's good news. I'll send my people over to bring it home. Of course, that doesn't mean your work is done. I want the thief found and prosecuted to the full extent of the law.
Yep, that's him. There it is. And I think they said it in an interview. The real game doesn't start until after you beat the main story. And that is very, very true about Starfield. Because that New Game Plus, there is a New Game Plus. They have confirmed it. I can openly talk about that. The New Game Plus does make replaying the game worth it. I would say even more interesting. A couple of more options open up to you, and this is probably one of the most interesting stories that Bethesda has made thus far. I have a reaction of me finding out like some intense lore on this game, and I was freaking out. I wish I could show y'all, but that will probably be out later. We're talking maybe like a week or so from now, okay? Because I don't want this spoiled for anyone. It was totally worth it. It was really cool. I don't know. I'm very interested to see what the DLC holds with some of the crazy lore stuff that is in this game. I'm genuinely blown away by it. Yeah, so check out the game. Or if you're one of the people who are saying Bethesda is garbage, why are you still here? Why are you watching this video? I made a whole skit. What's going on? It's okay. But all I ask is you let people enjoy what they like. Let us like what we like, you know? And yeah, I will have some tips videos coming out this week as the game is coming out. You know what I'm saying? So today being the 31st, you'll have this video. And then on the 1st, I will give a tips video. We're talking as early as I possibly can, because I've got some knowledge. Smuggling ain't easy, but I got some tips for smuggling, okay? I'm going to release a factions video, so you know what everyone's about. And then, of course, I've got skits planned. And some of those skits I'm excited for. If this was the thing that convinced you to get Starfield, let me know in the comments. If this was the thing that told you Starfield isn't for me, let me know what it was in the comments. It was like, maybe this isn't for me. But yeah, until the next video, y'all take care of each other. Be nice to one another. Go lift someone up this week. Go up to someone who looks a little sad and be like, hey, girl, you're the brightest star I see in this field. Boom. Leave it. Is that a flirt? It might be. If that gets you a date, let me know. And until the next video, take care.